Hello everyone, welcome back to Lab, and this is Laravel Vue enterprise grade e-commerce application development tutorial series. And I am going to dedicate lots of time for this series. I'm going to make a complete Laravel Vue series so that you can learn everything from start to end. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead, subscribe this channel and share the videos as much as you can so that we can grow and help each other. And if you are a premium member for this enterprise grade development, then you will be able to install download this product completely for free, and this one as well, and the admin panel as well. So I will have one more admin panel uploaded for the premium members so that they can use them. And this e-commerce I will be using, hopefully. You can see the live preview. And if you are a premium member, it doesn't cost you much, but if you can afford, I would suggest to become a premium member and download this amazing theme or template, HTML template, so that I can move on. But you don't have to worry about it. If you are not willing to be a premium member, then you can go ahead and use this one or other preferred one that you love. Okay, but yeah, I think if you are even free, you will get you'll be able to learn almost 90% of the resources completely for free. Just few things that are dedicated for the premium member, but these are only for a very advanced stuff. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the database design. And in this database design, I'm going to do the product creation, lots of things so that you can do a master database design. And yeah, I have done some research how can I make this tutorial much better. So I wanted to make I'll cover the video topics by topic so that you can understand all the setup that I'm going to do. It's just not the code, it's just explanation of every each details so that you understand behind what happens behind the scene and everything inside out. Okay, so let's not discuss further. Let's go. Let's move on to the action and do the database design. So this tutorial might be longer. I will try to do this database design in few parts of this video. Okay, so let's start with the table first, and we make a table. Let's call as usual users, and let's have an ID. This video is really important because you need to understand how an e-commerce works, e-commerce database design, and I might make lots of mistakes while doing designing this database. So that is why I'm trying to make the database at the beginning so that I can get lots of feedback from you guys and can add the missing things that I am missing. Okay, but I would love you guys to be with me while I do the database design and share your question. Okay, so I would like to go ahead one more time and then show you something that if you are not a premium member, then you can go ahead and actually post your question in our development with Epify Lab group. And if you are a premium member, then I would suggest join in the free group and also the e-commerce development group, so that this group will get the highest priority as quickly as possible. And I've seen 27 people wanted to join this group, but they have not paid yet or have not done the process right, so they are pending. And yeah, let's go ahead and check that out. So user starting with ID, and let's make them first name, and should be string, and first name should not be more than 100, or not 100, should be more, less than, actually they should be less than 30. We should keep that in mind. And it's nothing but, let's make last name. All of our naming will be camel case, but except the foreign keys. And last name, we will take user IP addresses as well. I am not sure how long an IP address becomes, so this should be adjusted accordingly. We should not waste any data in the database column, so you have to do calculation right. And then let's make email, and should be unique, and let's make it to the 50 characters. Password, this length should be according to what we want, so we can adjust later. And we will have an account activation code, so status should be also, we can have a string for sure, and that can be like 10, and by default we can say inactive, so you have to activate it, and then we can say okay, activation code, and this can be a random string, and we can say forgot code as well. Here you can make separate table, but this yeah, you don't have to make a separate table at all, and we can have a timing so that the activation or forgot code has a time limitation. So forgot code send time, we can have data type is state, so let's check it out. I had a problem that time, so let's make it so we can make a little mistake here, but that's not a problem, we can solve it at any time, and we don't have any default value for good send time, so we can do the limitation, okay, if the time it has expired or not, so that's great. Now this is the basic fundamental things, and you could store the address, but I think I will store the address in different tables because the user can have different set of addresses, because that's really important, so we will have different address tables. So let's make another table with a user address so that we can send information, user addresses. Obviously we need an ID with foreign keys, and it should not be binary, can be integer, so let's update that, and we will make the foreign key user ID again in integer, so it should be a foreign key that referring user table. That's perfect. User address. So what should you have for the address? I'm not sure, because different country has different type of address, city, state, or blah blah blah. So this is completely depending on the project where it is running, but if it is running locally or internationally, let's assume, yeah, this is something can be dependable. Okay, so I'm not sure what to write here because you know, it's depend on the projects, but let's say you're running an e-commerce in your country. Okay, so it's, let's say, country wise, I'm not sure about the city, or let's take a complete address. Okay, let's say complete address, and here we should say okay, write everything that's actually belongs to your address, and this can be a string of let's say a size of 300 character maybe. So complete address can be anything, and you can have your phone number, obviously, so you should have your phone number with 15 character maybe, with the international phone code, yeah, 15, that's good, I think. So the phone number is okay, because this way we can have multiple addresses for the user, and they can choose which address we should deliver. Yeah, because in e-commerce there are a lot of orders coming in cash on delivery, so you need to send with the appropriate address. Now let's do the big deal, the big business, which is products, and I will try to explain as much as possible, but not sure if we can make it complete sense today, but let's try it out. So let's move on to the products directly. Obviously we are not going to need for int id, it is a primary key integer, so we should have a product name, and we can have string, and okay, then after the product name we should have product slug, and this can be more than that because it will append, so let's say it is, and then it should be unique Here email should also be unique, so that's correct. Product slug, and here that's okay. We can have a category name and category ID as well. So let's create a category here. First of all, let's create a category. So categories, ID, integer, primary key. You can say category name. This can be string. Let's say string of size 100 max. And yeah, sometime you might want to have category icons or category images icon. I'm not sure if we want to do that, but let's add that category icon as image source as well. So let's move on. Okay, perfect. Now we can have the categories and tag as well, but I will skip tag because that's not super important. Now the problem is that you need to decide if one product will belongs to multiple categories. So let's think about an example. Shirts belongs to cloth categories, but it will also goes for men, so we should have subcategory as well. Category, subcategory. Okay, so we should do a subcategory. Subcategories. I'm sorry if I do any kind of spelling mistakes. That's why I'm trying to do the database design at the beginning, so that we have lots of time to fix that before we actually move on to the real development of the project, because I will try to cover all the concept at basic to advanced concept first, and meanwhile you can also add more lots of suggestions for the database, so that the whole project, since the whole project is completely dependent on the database design, so we need to make a good or perfect database design. So let's move on. I will try to cover most important part today, subcategories and integer auto increment primary key. I forgot the auto increment here, but let's say it should say category ID. So it should be foreign key, not the primary key, not auto increment, and that should be done here. And then now it should say subcategory name. Perfect, right? So subcategory name should be a string and can be sub size 100 actually. Perfect. So we have categories and subcategories. Let's say clothing that we can fit in men. Then under clothing, whatever categories, subcategories. I don't know if we will need more things here, but it's completely up to you. Then maybe electronics, computers. Okay. And if we require more subcategory, I'm not sure, but let's do this way. Okay, now here one thing we should take care about is that we can make, I will explain it a little bit here. We should take category ID here. Category ID should be integer and should be foreign key, of course categories, and let's remove the size from here. Okay, so this works better for category, and we should have a subcategory here, subcategory ID, and this should goes to the subcategory here. Now perfect. Now here's the one thing is that just to show the category, what category this product is in, or what subcategory this product is in, I need to bring the relationships as well. Okay, now if you want to do the optimization a little bit better, what you can do is that, since well, I just need the naming, so what you can do is that you can take the name string in here directly. Like you can say product, you should keep the subcategory and category ID there. In case if this category name is changed, then you can update in your product table using where, so that the all this information is updated. Okay, so what we can do is that for optimization reason, we can take category name directly. Okay, so if we take category name here directly, the data is duplicated. Okay, but you get one more benefit here. Okay, just to show which category this product is in, you don't have to join this category or subcategory. Okay, that will be a little bit better. I mean, that will be a little bit faster because you are avoiding a join. You are normalizing data. This is called denormalized. Okay, this is called a normalization of the data, meaning each data set will live into their own tables. Okay, it is normalization. But if you can do the denormalization in your SQL table, that will help to make the better query, then you can do that. But here we will have a problem, since if we use this category name and somehow this category name is changed by the admin, then this will not be reflected. So in that case, what we have to do is, once an update happens here, you have to update all the products where category ID, where the category is ID equal to the updated one. Okay, so you need to take care all those things, but I will leave it up to you, or I will just edit, but not sure if I will use it anyway. But let's keep it for the time being. Okay, perfect. Now we have category, subcategory name. Then now pricing and other things I will not be adding here, because I will have to do lots of product variations, so that, and the product variation and stock will live in here. Now let's do quickly some product variation things. Okay, this is really super important tutorial for those. Now let's move on. It's already has become a lengthy. Now let's say first of all I will give option to the admin to add his product variation or option or values, whatever it might say. So for admin, I will make two tables for the admin so that he can add quickly from the tables. Okay, admin should not write every time. Let's say size, color, size, color. He should not write every time, right? So we should give him a table from where he can just select the categories, some like the categories or also the variation. Okay, so I let's move on to adding some variation. Okay, so it's not product variation, it's just variations table, and it has an ID which is integer primary key, and all I just need is variation name. Okay, and it is string. Let's say 50. It should not be much longer. So admin will add here variation name. Let's for example, size, color, class, and weight. A lot of variation can be added by admin, and once he add this in the product variation table, he can just select from here. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now for the product variation values, what we can do is we can also have another table, but it's completely okay. Let's add another table. Okay, because the admin should not write small, large, medium every time, because he can make mistakes on spelling sometime, like me. So let's give one more option to the admin panel, like variation options, or variation options. So we can say, okay, variation option is just ID primary key, option name, string. So let's say variations are size, color, class, weight, and variation options can be anything like medium, large, can be a lot of options here. Medium, large, X, or can write SML, double L, double X, lots of those things. And we don't have to make a relationship here because this is just for options. But if we give option here, if we link this option, variation option with the variation, then what we have to do is we have to, yeah, that will be much better. So let's do these things. If I really feel the need, then I will change it later. Let's say variations ID. This will be much easier for the admin. So let's say it is a foreign key that belongs to the variations, and we don't have to define a size here. So that's okay. So once the admin adds size, he has to add what size is actually available in his stock. What kind of sizes, like he has to add S, M, L, or small, medium, these kind of things, right? So this makes much more sense, okay? Now that's really good. Now what we have to do is that um, what we will be doing next is let's make another table, which is here. It's for admin to get suggestions mainly. Okay, this is not what we are going to use. Okay, this is mainly for the admin to get suggestions quickly. Now let's make products variations. Okay, let's make product variations, and then let's sorry for some little interruptions. I would try to become as better as possible with the background noise and sounds from the family. Yeah, that's a little problem for me. I'm trying to make a bigger setup for you guys so that I can make quality professional videos. Extremely sorry, I was just distracted from the background sounds. I was product variations, okay? A little bit distracted right now. Okay, now here we can do two things. So, let me explain what we can do here. So we have added the product ID here, so it is linked with the products. These are not linked. Now what we can do is we can link the variation ID here. Now let's say variation ID is size, and it is linked with, let's say, with SML as the options. Now if we add one here, then we will get the variation name and as well as the variation options. Okay, so we will get these things, but for different products, let's say we want to have more, then we have to write more variation name here, which are not good. We are going to give these suggestions, so we will keep this as a suggestion table for admin. um, okay, like for example, by the word suggestion I mean, for example, let's say the admin want to add currency for his products or anything, then every time instead of typing USD, pounds, or euro, we can give him option, okay, available currencies are these three, choose any of these three. Okay, so this is kind of those things. Okay, now product variation has the product ID, and we can say what is your variation name here actually. So variation name, let's say, yeah, so the variation name will be selected from here. We will give option, okay, select these are your available variation name. select all those variations. Okay, so you select the product variations like this. Now what we can do is make another table that says, okay, uh, products variations options. Okay, now here what we have to do is we have to link the other table. It's a little bit complex things to digest, but I hope you will be able to do that easily with me. So let's do this together. And then we need product variation as the foreign key. Products variation ID, and this should be a foreign key, and it should go here. Okay, so we have product variation options linked with this one. And now sometimes you see product variation can have size or color. Let's say product ID 1 has a variation name of size, and size has multiple options like okay, let's think with color instead. It's helped me easier to think. Okay, product ID 1 has a variation name color, and its options are, let's say, red, green, and blue. Now red, green, and blue can have these are red. Okay, now what you can do is you can have instead of an icon or just text, what we can do is first of all, let's take variation name here. Okay, I will tell you we should do something much better, variation name, and then here we should take icon here or image. Okay, variation, so that we can show the image instead. Okay, variation image, so it can be small image right below the product details page. Okay, variation image, and it can have an image of 200 character. So we will, okay, if it is size, let's say color green, then variation name green, then we will have a green image. Okay, and if it is a version name blue, we will have a blue image, so that it can be simply the blue color image, or it can be simply the blue colored product. For example, let's say the product is t-shirt, then we can have a color blue and green. Then definitely you should have two t-shirts with color blue and red, and you can add the blue color here, blue t-shirt image here, and then green t-shirt here, so the user can see it and select it accordingly. Okay, that makes lots of sense. I hope that it makes sense. Now this is variation image for the small one, and what you can do is that you can add the bigger image here as well, so that every image are shown exactly the way you want. So we can do this in different ways. We can add image here, but let's not focus on image here. I will make a very improved advanced image handling or image tables, so that you can get a very professional or advanced level image handling for your e-commerce project. Okay, this project is going to be very complex. It's not so easy, but I can assure you that once you complete this project, or in the middle of this project, I can bet on you is that you will definitely be able to develop any kind of project that comes to you, hopefully. Okay, so product variation ID goes here, product variation name, variation image. So product variation are itself an image, itself a product itself. Okay, every product will have a product variation, at least one variation. Okay, no matter if it has multiple sizes, colors, it doesn't matter. You will always have at least one. So we can have a scope unique identifier. Okay, so we can have scope here, and it can be a unique identifier here. Based on what identifier we use, we can have the size here, and we will have this we can have the stock here, but one problem we will face is that we will not be able to track the stock in and out. Okay, so in order to make the stock thing much more advanced, what we can do is that we can make another table that says stock that hold the stock information. So we can take which date the stock was added, more stock was added. So, or you can directly add the stock here, but let's make it more complex here. But we can do the pricing here. Okay, so the pricing comes here, and it can be float, and it can be 10 size, primary key, foreign key, no. Okay, pricing here. Now, for you to understand about the stock, what you can do is here, um, products stock, it should be plural, and to get quickly, see, if you have a variations, that means that's red and green, then you will definitely have multiple products. So it's not a good idea to make one product. So it's actually multiple products. So multiple products should have its own stock. So what you can do is that we can say, okay, red has 5 available stock and blue has 2. So we can track down which product was which product is which stock level, and we can simply add the stock right here. But if we separate it, then we will be able to add, remove, or yeah, add, remove stock easily, and we can get track, okay, how what is the stock level right now, and when you have added the stock, okay, and how much did it cost. Okay, so it's just a thing that completely depending on the project, but I will go ahead with since I started it to make it more complex, more real world friendly, so I will go ahead and make it more complex. Okay, so add integer stock amount. It can be an integer definitely, or float. Okay, integer stock amount. Let's make it more easier to understand. Total stock. Okay, I don't know what to pronounce it. Let's say now it has a cost or pricing. Total cost. You can say, okay, unit price, and it can be float, unit price, and you can have a total price here as well, but it's completely up to you, because you can easily understand total stock multiplied by unit price, then you can get the total price. So it's completely not necessary at all, but we can have it. Then stock created, so I will leave it created, add, and updated because Laravel handles it, so we will be able to know when this stock was added. And yeah, that's it, I think. And here we can do our relationships, that which product variation, so product stock, so we can have product stock id as integer here, foreign key. So we know which variation has which product stock, so we can easily be able to know the available product available stock for a particular product. Okay, now we need to deal with another thing, which is product combinations. Okay, product variation combination. Okay, so I will do that in the next tutorial, because it's already a lot of things to digest. So in the next video I will try to explain how we can do the product variation combination and other things. Okay, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment your valuable feedback, and try to add our your input, and go ahead in our Facebook group. And yeah, obviously if you want to become a premium member, please go ahead and this is I have put just little amount, but if you think you cannot afford that much, you are completely free to become a premium member with any amount you like. From, yeah, I will not give you an amount, but you definitely can support with any amount you would like. Okay, just the base price is $25, but you can go ahead with any prices. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Have a nice time. Good day.